Aerospace is one of the fastest growing and innovative industries of the 20th century, but the terms aerospace and aerospace industry are often misunderstood. The aerospace industry is involved in the design and manufacture of all things that operate in aerospace. Aerospace is a compression of aeronautics, which is defined as the science of flight within the Earth's atmosphere.
The aerospace industry is a roughly $300 billion a year industry worldwide. It includes military and commercial aircraft, business and general aviation aircraft, helicopters, and all of the subsystems and materials that are contained in those airplanes. And the commonality, of course, is similar systems are used on military aircraft and commercial aircraft. The defense industry also includes the weapons manufacturers, both air, land, and sea, tanks, ships, submarines, all the missiles, and the manufacturers of radar, forward-looking infrareds.
The aerospace industry is comprised of many specialized manufacturers that contribute unique and individual parts, components, systems, and subsystems to each single aircraft. Think of it as a team, with the component manufacturers acting as the members. Eventually, the team members collaborate their parts at the plant of the team leader, known as the prime contractor or systems integrator. The team leader will assemble all of the hundreds of different parts into an end product.
Due to the complexities and the cost in the manufacturing of a single aircraft, no single manufacturing company can solely develop and deliver components or equipment on single aircraft. So they're depending heavily on each other. At Kenyon, we pay attention to the detail in the manufacturing, integration, and testing of the component and system going into the equipment on the single aircraft.
It is these small aerospace manufacturers that make up the backbone of the industry.
Kenyon's a great little family-owned, closely held business located here in Naugatuck, Connecticut. We design and manufacture hydraulic and pneumatic valves used in aerospace and defense applications that go in flight controls, landing gear, and brake systems on corporate jets and military aircraft. We play a role supplying these valves to critical companies that make business jets and fighter aircraft and transport aircraft.
Kenyon is committed to constant improvement and excellence in everything they do. In the aerospace industry, there is no margin for error. The company thrives on this, meeting whatever challenges it faces, and are proud to provide critical precision engineered, manufactured, assembled, and tested components for its customers.
Kenyon's history goes back to the early 1950s when Gar Precision Valve, located in Brewster, New York, acquired a portion of the Kenyon Instrument division, which created the name Kenyon. Originally, Kenyon was very active in military markets, supplying parts for all kinds of fighter aircraft. During the 1980s, the company expanded into the business jet and general aviation market, developing valves for these various corporate jets and single-engine piston aircraft. Later in the 90s, it moved into the regional jet market and kept expanding, and then in 2003 I acquired the company and relocated it to our facilities here in Naugatuck, Connecticut. In the early 1950s, when the company was originally formed, lots of the designs were done on paper drawings using very primitive machine tools. Today we use state-of-the-art 3D computer-aided design software and also computer-aided manufacturing software on the latest computer-controlled machine tools. This has allowed us to really get products developed into the market much more quickly than in previous years at lower cost.
Kenyon's products perform several functions on aircraft. Primarily, they control the flow of fluid to perform specific actions. Some of these functions are activating a braking system, moving a flap or a landing gear, or restricting the flow of fluid. Our products have become standard in the industry primarily because once you have an established product like we have, we've been in existence for 60 years now. It costs a lot of money to develop an aircraft component. As simple as a simple fitting may take $10,000 to $20,000 to get qualified on an aircraft. Some of our more complex valves cost way more than that. And when you get to that level, the cost to replace you is very high. So a lot of airframe manufacturers will tend to keep your product on their aircraft or future aircraft going forward. For example, in some cases our products for Gulfstream were designed 50 years ago. They're still being used on the latest Gulfstream 5 aircraft.
Kenyon is a one-stop operation for design, fabrication, assembly, testing, certification, and repair of hydraulic, pneumatic components. They are dedicated to their customers, designing and manufacturing components that far exceed expectations and deliver unsurpassed years of reliability and performance.
Kenyon's work ethic is to produce the very best product the first time. It's to do things right, to exceed our customers' expectations. It's an ethic that has lots of pride. The company, it's actually about 60 years old. You have folks here who have actually been with the company as much as 52 years. And so there's a lot of pride in the fact that the product that we make has physically our name on it. And so there's a lot of pride in the fact that what we make and what we do affects people's lives every day. And actually, family members are going to fly those very planes that we make the products for.
In the world of aerospace, the sky is literally the limit. They are seeing a record year for overall bookings and product shipments. Today, it ranks among the world's largest manufacturing industries, supplying jobs to thousands.
By bringing in design capabilities, they can design the next level of assembly and essentially replace one of their customers. The commercial side of the business is growing in leaps and bounds, and the aircraft manufacturers are ramping up to unprecedented annual rates of production for all their airplanes. And this is not just Airbus and Boeing, but the business jet manufacturers in some cases are now coming back out of the recession. There has been job growth over the past 5 or 6 years in aerospace and defense, and it'll probably continue. There have been manufacturing jobs repatriated from low-cost countries. The reason for that is American competitiveness. The workforce, the labor, the management has grown more sophisticated, more knowledgeable, and is much closer to the rank and file worker today than he or she ever has been. And so it's kind of the quiet good news of the last several years in the economy.
Kenyon anticipates continued growth as a company in their future. They believe in the small aerospace manufacturer and see increased opportunities to collaborate with other companies in the field, as well as other industries related to aerospace. The company will continue to be active in the community to promote aerospace locally, as well as globally.
I see Kenyon growing very rapidly over the next 10 years, at least at a 25% compounded growth rate. We're seeing very strong bookings this year, 33% over last year. We've expanded our website. We see the international part of the business expanding at a pretty good clip. Overseas activity is really amazing at this point. We plan on moving into more complex systems and also eventually into electromechanical actuation to leverage our motion control experience.
Kenyon Aerospace and Defense, as a recognized leader for hydraulic and pneumatic aerospace components, has enhanced their product line by acquiring General Pneumatics Corporation of New Jersey. This move to add GPC's design and manufacturing history is part of Kenyon's long-term plan for continued product line growth and expansion. As Kenyon looks to celebrate their 60th anniversary with a reputation for technical excellence, responsiveness, and innovation, the company continues to be the industry source for hydraulic and pneumatic aerospace components. For more information on the aerospace industry and on Kenyon, please visit www.garkenyon.com.